Okay, so I had heard about this online recently and decided to try to make something, and it turned out to be far easier than I thought. I'm wanting to make a tub that can rotate and turn an egg sac before it's ready to be opened. And I had heard about using a timer, a wall timer, to do this, and really it was just a matter of taking, as you can see here, taking a deli cup and putting a screw. I put a rubber washer in there too, but just putting a screw into the main face of the timer, and voila, it's done. Just plug it into the wall, and it will turn that egg sac gradually over the course of 24 hours. Now, the reason I decided to do this is because I have had a surprise this past weekend that is probably not viable. We shall see. But my display cases, I had taken my tarantulas to go do a presentation recently, and just didn't quite get around to putting things back away when I noticed the other night that my big 8-inch Nhandu trepepii girl was laying down silk, laying down a cocoon. Thing is, she molted a while back this past year, since the time that I had paired her up with a male. So the very high probability is that this egg sac is infertile, because usually when tarantulas molt, the female tarantula molts, she molts her spermithecate, which is the female parts that would actually hold the sperm. So they would, they could basically, if they don't want to be pregnant, they can molt and be done with it. And so this girl did just that. And just for a comparison here, so you can see this is actually a huge egg sac. And anyway, I'm going to turn it simply because two reasons. One, when I've posted this online in the last few days, people have told me that she probably will eat this sac in the next day or two. And it's not a big loss because it's probably infertile anyway. But the other thing is that there have been a couple of people who have chimed in and cited personal experience of tarantulas who have wound up having some fertile eggs in this situation where the tarantula had molted since being paired. So I thought it would be a good time to make this contraption and to see what I can do with it. Chances are I'm not going to get anything out of this, but if I don't try, I certainly won't do it. So I'm just going to have some fun and try and just see what comes of it. So this is going to be the interesting part, because this girl is not going to be this girl is not going to be happy. You can probably already see she's quite defensive and protective of this sac. Now let's just see what I can do here. Oh man, come on girl. She does not want to let go of this sac. Okay, there. Now, just so you can see, the size of that sac is incredible. So I'm going to put it in there, and we're going to see how well this turns out. I might have to make some adjustments because it might just slide along rather than actually roll. And I think the adjustments I'm probably going to make is probably just put lines of hot glue along here just for some traction on the inside. So there she is. And I probably really should return her to her tank so that she can have her full space. Alright, that is it for now. Thank you. Okay, I know that I've got a lot to learn here, but I think this is something I learned just in talking with somebody a few minutes ago. is I am going to need some way to keep things moist in there. So what I've done is I've put, rather than putting in the hot glue, I just have coffee filter. I have this thing sitting in a coffee filter. You can see the coffee filter is actually anchored down by the screw, underneath the screw. And I actually shortened, I got a smaller deli tub. It wasn't as tall, so the coffee filter could be cinched in around the rim of the lid. I have poked in one hole where I can just take a needle and squirt some water into the bottom there. The idea was that I'd keep water pooled in that back corner, but as you can see, it did soak into the coffee filter. My hopes now is that that will provide enough moisture and not too much moisture, and then just through the course of the next 4 to 6 weeks I can just keep trying this. Just put in a little bit of water when things dry out, and maybe let it dry out for a little bit more and then put in some more water. That's my first iteration of this, and I've got a little mark at the top to see that I am indeed that it is indeed timing. It is going around the circle there, so I can just look at that and see. Anyway, that's what I've got for now. We will see over time what happens with this.